Check this out. Alright folks, welcome back to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. I am on the road right now, trying to be safe doing this. I need some sort of a mount for my GoPro if I'm driving at the same time. Anyway, I'm on the road right now, and I'm on the way to pick up some wood. So follow me along. I got a story for you. Hopefully I can film on location, but let's do it. So I forget where I had this idea. It may have been in one of the Firewood Facebook groups that I'm a part of, but there's a new trend. I think it's, I don't know, a few years old or so, that people will go to like a place or some game type place, establishment, and they sign a waiver, I assume, and they throw axes at like a dartboard, and try to hit in the middle or whatever. I don't understand the appeal myself. I would be concerned that they would, being a firewood person, like having an axe, that you would throw it and it would just bounce back at you. Because I believe the axes they're throwing, they're real, I guess axes. Either they're hatchets or the axes. Either they're hatchets or they're axes in terms of the handle length. I don't know that. Maybe I can find out when I go there. But the people who do this, they're throwing the axes at like a wood dartboard, and the wood over time gets so beat up and split up and banged up from being used by their clients that they need to replace it. Well, that wood, I assume it's like lumber. It's like kiln dried lumber. And over, I don't know, maybe I can ask the lady when I get there. They go through, I think it's like once a week or once every other week. I think it all depends on how many customers they have, but it's quite fast in terms of turnaround of the wood that they need to replace. And that wood just goes, I assume, to the dumpster. So if it's non-treated wood, which I assume it is, because why would you need treated wood for an axe throwing thing? Non-treated wood, and I assume it's like basically kiln dried lumber. It should be burnable wood, like good to go now. Granted, there may be some paint on it from the bullseye circle thing, but I thought it would be a great idea. So I reached out to the local company. There's a company, like a franchise, I would say, that they have several locations in my area, and the nearest one is the nearest town away. About, I think they're it's like 10 minutes away from my house, which is not too bad of a drive for free wood. So I reached out to them a few weeks ago, I guess months now, and apparently they're on a rotation. I believe, I can confirm this when I get there, every Wednesday they have a new rotation of wood. And today's Wednesday, so I'm at my computer. Literally, I'm at my computer, and I'm editing a video for you all to see next. And I get an email, and it's from this game place, and they say, "Hey, just wanted to follow up with you, Travis. We have wood available." And I jumped on the response because I know it's timely to respond right away. And I said, "Yes, I'm available. Can you confirm your location?" Because I wasn't sure which one exactly I was emailing, because I reached out to the general inquiry, like the info at email on their website, and she said it was the nearest town from where I live. I'm like, I'm on my way right now. So I dropped editing, shot out the door, and I'm on my way to pick up this wood. And if it's what I think it is, and in terms of the cadence and the rotation level of them discarding this wood, and if I'm right in terms of the quality of wood, this would be pretty cool in terms of free wood. Not too far away. Granted, there may be traffic on the way home, but it's close enough, and if I can get on a rotation with them to pick up this wood, I think it would be great. I'm not sure if it would be good to sell. Not the greatest wood to burn in my own wood stove, because it's probably going to be a softwood. But hey, free is free, and if it's going to be local, why not? So let's turn you off for a second. Let me get to this location, and we'll see if I can film. I'm back in the wood yard. This is crazy. I asked the contact at the store if he wanted to be on film and have me asking questions or having the loading process be filmed, and he said he'd rather not, which is totally fine, which is why I ask people. I usually try to give them more of a heads up of asking them, so it's not like right in their face, because I feel that if it's right in their face, like right here, right now, that they're gonna have to say yes and then regret it later. So I like to give people a heads up when I want to have them be on film. But check out this haul. Check out this haul. This is awesome. I'm in my backyard. Now it's raining, right? Check this out. I mean, they're like 6x6 beams or posts, and they're ripped down for axes, and a lot of them don't look too, I mean, this one here looks pretty beat up, like been hit several times. I don't know if you can see that or not. And they have some paint on them, but some paint isn't the same as like treated wood. I mean, that's fine to burn inside. So I have all these blocks now to burn, or I guess I could sell them too. I mean, definitely. I mean, these came from like the box store. I mean, they were bought so they're true and square, and ripped down to size for their needs at the axe throwing place. So let's get you set up and let's offload this right now. This stuff here is just your basic kiln-dried wood lumber that you would get from Home Depot or the big box stores. So it's pine or spruce. It's fine. Not the best wood, but for firewood, look this piece got. God damn, this is hammered. This must have been like a very centerpiece. Definitely got chewed up with those axes. Wow. Yeah, so softer wood, but beggars can't be choosers. We had two types of wood, and he separated it out for me, but it's kind of obvious what wood is what. And we'll get to the other wood in a second. Yeah, I think this is the other wood here. You can tell by the look of it. Definitely don't like doing this in the rain, but it is what it is. think next time I go, I'm going to bring an ICB 12 gauge in the truck and fill that up, or to bring a bunch of garbage cans, put them in the back of the truck, so I'm not having to like offload it, load it more than once, so less time handling the wood. That's what you want. Less time touching the firewood as possible. That's the golden rule, and I'm going to follow that. I believe that to be true. I believe that to be true. So telling me that so there's two kinds of wood here. There's the spruce or the pine, and there's cottonwood. Cottonwood's the stuff behind me here. And they had a cottonwood, and from a supplier, because it's probably cheaper, because cottonwood's garbage. No one wants cottonwood for anything, really. Now, cottonwood's not good for anything besides keeping the tree service people in business. Even they don't want to deal with it. Anyway, like the store's owner, his son was cutting the wood that they got from a local mill or something like that, and the cuts weren't true. They weren't square. And with even the hobbyists with axe throwing, apparently, per the guy who I was in contact with for this wood at his place at the store, it needs to be as square, as true as possible, so the axe will actually go into the wood. So they had to scrap that idea and then go to a big box store wood. Caught me off guard. That email to come get this wood. When there's free wood available, you act on it. You act on it as soon as you can. Because if not, you'll go someplace else, get wood like I mentioned before, or someone else will get it. You know, so you have to act on whatever's free as soon as possible. So in the haste of going there, my truck had like the baby stroller in it and stuff. So I need to make sure that my bed is clear of stuff more often, so I have space to load wood if that happens. I mean, it's not every day I get a call for free wood, and I don't like to go too far for wood. I have a limit of how far I'll go. Usually it's in my hometown that I'll get the wood, but if I have to go 1 to 2 towns over, depending on the wood is, then I'll make that. I will make that exception. So this with the pine spruce, what is left over will be the cottonwood. Fill up. See if I have any more garbage cans. Definitely a win-win in a store with firewood. I mean, it's not ideal. Free is free. It's dry wood, not too far away, and if I didn't get it, I had to find someone else to do it. This is totally doable, or you can default, and then this would just literally go in the dumpster each week, or whatever rotation he has. I think it's every Wednesday, he said, but contact him about if I like the wood, because he's aware that for me to come and pick this up, coordinate with him, it has to be worth my time. So if I can make this worth my time, then we can do that. So yeah, so this is the balance of the wood is going to be cottonwood, definitely different hue to it, different look, but he mentioned, because I filled a few pieces, they were damp. He said, yeah, even in the store, the cottonwood would harbor moisture. So I mean, this is not ideal wood at all. But I have an idea for a cottonwood for an episode, so you'll see that soon. I was going to contact my arborist friend Paul about if he had any cottonwood, because I had an idea for an episode on cottonwood. So now I have cottonwood. I'm not sure what I'll do afterwards with it. Maybe I'll just burn it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just burn it. But we'll see. But this is definitely cool. I think it's right now. I believe this is still worth my time to do this. To pick it up if I have to come like once a week. Per my availability. Availability, and if he's the guy I'm dealing with at the store, if he's available, type thing. So it has to be work for both of us, or whatever. But this seems to be, I think, so far so good. He is in an industry, or even if you are not a firewood seller, you just burn wood. Obviously, you want to get. I mean, for most people, I would say, you want to get wood for as cheap as possible. The quality wood, the best quality wood, for as cheap as possible, best bang for your buck. And that means a lot of times wood would be free. Wood being free. So this big box of wood is not like they are kindling, but you have to feed your fire pretty often. Which is, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, free wood is free wood. And you can't go wrong. I'm not going to battle with the guy over cottonwood, but I think this is the last of it that he has. But you can definitely feel some of these pieces, even though they're in my truck, it's raining outside. But even at the store, like I mentioned, the wood felt moist. This cottonwood felt moist. So I think he's phasing out of the cottonwood, which is fine, and then I'll get whatever spruce or cotton or spruce or pine that he has next time. So, and I hope there will be a next time. I hope. All right, let's go check out the haul. So, the balance of the pine or spruce is in this wheelbarrow. I'll take that into the house to burn, I guess, right now. I mean, why not? So I have, let's see here, one pine and spruce garbage can here, one more, two. Let's walk this way, go through the wood yard. What else do I have here? So that was what, two pine or spruce? So that's 3 and 4. So about 4 pine / spruce blocks of garbage cans worth of wood, and then I got 1 and 2 of the cottonwood. So that is the haul. So I forget, I think it's like 8 or 9 garbage cans that fills loosely thrown in an ICB tote and a large size ICB tote cage, either stacked or a little bit heaped, or thrown in loosely and heaped. That's 1/3 of a cord. So I definitely have, I don't know, what is this? Maybe like half of a third of a cord, or I don't think that's I don't think it's 1/3 of a cord, but a short bed truck. I mean, I have a Tacoma, a short bed truck that was loosely thrown in, more or less full to the top of the brim or the edge of the truck of free blocks. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Free. I mean, granted, time was involved, gas was involved, but the loading took minutes. The guy was prepared for me, and the offloading wasn't too bad just now. I mean, what am I at? A few minutes of offloading and putting it in garbage cans and putting it under the cover. Excuse me. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now, is this a worthwhile relationship? Is this rapport that I'm building with this guy at this axe throwing sport place worth it? Initially, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes because it's free wood, and you don't say yes, and you don't say no to free wood, especially if it's dry. This kiln dry wood. This is if I measure this now, it's gonna be probably like 8 to 12%, probably, because that's what it usually is when it comes out of Home Depot or one of the big box stores, whatever, lumber yards. Now I can't. If this is gonna be on a weekly cadence, if this is gonna be every Wednesday afternoon or whatever, I can't burn through that as fast. I don't think. So a lot of it is going to be stored. I could, I mean, in theory, if I had a buyer lined up right away, I could go from this store, load in my truck, and go directly from that store to the customer, drop it off, and I'll make. I mean, if it's close to if it's close to an IBC tote, or have leftovers from before. Let's say it's one ICB tote worth of wood. That's $90 plus delivery fee. For free. Directly from the source to the customer, money in my pocket. Done. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with that. So, and it's still cool. It's still warmer in terms of. I mean, now it is officially winter. Winter is here in terms of the date. It's here, but it's not cold yet. It's still pretty mild winter, and I think that we're going to feel that throughout the nation. I think the almanac feels that way too. It's going to be a mild winter, so I don't think I'm going to tap into my premium maple over there. I don't think I'm going to tap into this. This has been seasoned since I think it was split and stacked in summer of 21. I think it was 21, and this stuff I'm selling to my premium maple guy who uses it for his sauna, and even that, I don't touch this wood because this is good stuff, and I don't need that much heat right now for my fireplace. So I'm burning through some, like, I think it's birch and some cherry and other remnants hardwood that I have in here, and that seems to keep the house quite warm. It's great. But if I had to switch to burning through pine and spruce for a bit and kind of save this wood, switched to this stuff, save that, why not? That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. I think I may need to go through some more kindling to get it going, because going from, if I can't keep the fire going and roaring enough to burn the blocks from because I split my wood smaller because it dries faster, right? So it may be tough to have this catch, but it's still gonna be. But it's dry enough. It's just a matter of having it go. I mean, I don't want to re-split it. That doesn't make any sense. So I think this is a win-win, and I think it's gonna work out fine. If it gets to the point where I don't have enough space for it, I'll need to line up a buyer right away. So I go from the store, like I mentioned before, store to the customer, sold, money in my pocket, so I don't have to store it at my place, at my wood yard, and then transfer it over if I can't burn enough in time. So that's it for this video as of right now. I'll keep you tuned in on the blocks, but until then, stay safe, keep cutting, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.